Morning. Some morning thoughts. The lesson. I completed the Course in Miracles 2015, and after that, for 2 years, I didn't want to touch them. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to even acknowledge that the book existed. I don't know. I guess my subconscious was not happy, or something went wrong. Anyway, or maybe it just needed some time to settle. So fast forward about 2 years after that, around 2017, I started going back, gently reading, practicing. And it's interesting that even though I didn't do my readings or lessons, I mean, I had completed them, that idea of the Holy Spirit being there with me stayed. Even in those 2 years when I was like, don't bother me, I just want to go and play and have fun with friends and family. But every time something not pleasant happened, the first thought was like, okay, hold on, I'm with the Holy Spirit. So I would say that was a time simply of fermenting, or how wine takes time and cheese making takes time. So I guess something there on the subconscious level needed some time for recalibration, or at least simply time to kind of smooth the ruffled feathers. In any case, after that, it was kind of gradual easing in back and incorporating it into my daily life. So I haven't completed the lessons again. I know some people who like to do that second time, third time. I prefer to actually invite the Holy Spirit to give me a lesson every day. And so every day it's kind of somewhat of a random. I call it random, but we all know that there are no random things in our universe. So the lesson for today actually is, I will not value what is valueless. I believe that's lesson 133. And that lesson always reminds me of Taurus, the energy Taurus in astrology, the Western astrology, because it's the number 2 energy in the 12-fold division. And that deals so much with resources, what we have here that supports our own expression. While Aries is about your expression, Taurus is the realization that you do need some resources to boost your expression, to support your expression. Aries is pure expression. I don't care. Taurus, being the second in the 12th division, also corresponds to the large intestine meridian in the Chinese tradition, the traditional Chinese medicine. I like to practice on myself nowadays, mostly the healing art of Jinshin Jutsu. And the Jinshin Jutsu, in the Jinshin Jutsu tradition, the division there, the second energy is actually called the large intestine function energy. No matter what you call it or which tradition, and you might have your own tradition, but the second energetic part in the 12-fold daily energy is going to be the large intestine. And it's interesting because if you're familiar with Eastern tradition, you'll see that it is so much about holding on. And even on the physical level, when you think what the large intestine does, right? Let go, hold, let go, hold. There's something about the question, what do you choose to hold on to and what do you choose to let go? So the large intestine, to a large extent, is related to our ability of letting go, which again, if you connect it to Taurus, you will see now the Westerners say, hey, Taurus is about resources, and what you value, also what you value, because what you value, you want to hold on to it. And what you find valueless, you just let go of it. And so the problem sometimes when we kind of hoarding is that our value system has become skewed. I don't want to dismiss it because usually in the past something traumatic happened and something was of tremendous amount of value to us. But now the river of life has flown and we're in a different part of life and that has no value anymore. But we have those memories of that traumatic event. And so we're having trouble understanding that something like that will probably hold no value for us, or even more, it might be detrimental. It might not be something that we should be holding on to it. And that's where all the huge bag of Taurus grudges, not so much judgment. Taurus doesn't judge so much, but it's more about grudge. You did something, you said something, I will never let you forget it. I'm holding it because, at that moment it was important for us to hear it. But now that's a downside. That's when Taurus becomes fearful and unbalanced, and we're having trouble letting go because it's actually hurting us. And this is where the decluttering of Virgo comes in and helps. But again, if Taurus is not ready to let go of something, that means Taurus is putting value on that. Virgo is not going to declutter it. So back to my lesson. I will not value what is valueless. I love the lesson because it always reminds me of that Taurian energy, that we are holding on to what we value. And yes, I can sit and tell myself, okay, you have outgrown this thing. You should not value chocolate. Just let go of it. Stop eating. But you know what? Have you tried it? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. If it worked, we would have all been, enlightened on the planet. Oh, well, majority of us. And so this lesson 133, I will not value what is valueless. It's very sneaky because you don't have to give up your chocolate or whatever you like. But by practicing it today, subtly and cleverly, I will allow this lesson and the Holy Spirit, actually. So you're always working with the Holy Spirit when you're doing lessons. I'm giving permission to the Holy Spirit today to settle those values in my subconscious, to help me release what is not valuable anymore, to help me see what has become valueless, and to give me the strength, understanding. And when I say that, I really mean in subconsciousness. The conscious part I can do myself, but the real work is really in the subconscious. And so, in a sense, the Holy Spirit has saved me tons of money from working with the therapist. So I'm allowing, permitting, and requesting, really, the Holy Spirit today to help me sort out those values of mine. I want in my subconsciousness only values that are truly meaningful and useful to me to remain. And how it's going to happen, not my business. It's all into the Holy Spirit's hands today.